My name's William Ryan. I run a business called Rhino Plumbing and Gasfitting. We used to do general plumbing. We've sort of diversified ourselves a little bit these days, and we're more into the industrial side of the business, focusing on the environmental side. We've found that was a niche that was sort of not being fulfilled. So more on the environmental side of the plumbing side of things, with water treatment plants and so forth.
Before you joined Business Benchmark Group, had you been thinking about business coaching?
No. Nathan and I worked together on quite a few projects. Then we shared a factory together for many years. He approached me about you guys, said what a fantastic job you guys were doing. He'd had coaching in the past, and he never felt that he could recommend anybody at that stage. But since moving across to you guys, he got in touch with me and said, Bill, this is going to transform the way you do everything. He said, take the time to listen to these guys and go through it.
So when you'd had the business evaluation with Damien, when you met with him one-on-one,
Yep.
What did you learn about yourself and your business?
I was a little bit scared at the start, and because I don't have the ability to retain information, my brain doesn't allow me to do that. But he still worked through it with me, and we went through a few things, and then it sort of opened my eyes up to, I sort of knew what I wanted, but I hadn't set clear goals and targets and things like that. It was just sort of thoughts. With the chat with Damien, it sort of opened my eyes up a little bit to, okay, this is, I need to focus on specific areas. It was going to provide me with accountability, was probably the main thing for me.
What was your trigger to commit to the program?
So the assessment was done with Damien, and then starting to work through the program. I guess for me, like the work ethic side of things, if I'm pushed, and I've been set like targets and goals that are probably a little bit out of reach, I'll work a lot harder to get there. Whereas if I was in the original program, the academy program. If
there was one thing you'd like to change in your business in the next 90 days, what would it be?
Setting some processes, definitely. I've never had a process for anything, and doing some of the roundtables and some of the intensives has really focused on, I've never had to go out and try and employ somebody.
I can see you're an avid fan of the roundtable groups, which is awesome. What do you get out of those? Once
again, accountability, and for me, consistency. Building the muscle, as Stefan says. It's definitely that part of it, and it just re-energizes my week to say, okay, you're focusing on this is what you're doing. There's a lot of things that I get out of roundtables that aren't necessarily just about the like the subject that we're working on or anything like that. There's other, it's not just business wise, it's life wise and things like that as well.
What do you enjoy about the roundtable groups, and what benefits do you receive?
It's been good so I've got a diary that's just specifically for Business Benchmark. So I've got my normal day-to-day hand diary and all that sort of stuff, but I've kept one just for the Benchmark group. And so on each day that we do a roundtable or whatever, I wrote all my notes down on that specific day.
In 10 words or less, how would you describe the Business Benchmark Group team?
Intense at times, non-judgmental and focused.
What is the best thing that's happened to you or your business since you joined the program?
I think it's definitely made me into being a better person all round, a better team leader. Leader of my team, and it's turned me into a better dad, turned me into a better husband. Definitely. That's definitely changed my mindset around what business is about.